Hello and welcome to my channel. This is new series where we are going to learn Rust programming. My name is Ashish and today we will be trying to install Rust on your local machine. But before that, let's look at why and how Rust has become popular. If you are aware of Tiobe Index and GitHub's first survey, then you should be aware that there are some programming language which has become popular in last few years. The Tiobe programming index is an indicator. So this is the official site we have opened on your screen, and this is the community index, which is an indicator of popularity of programming languages. The index is updated once a month. The ratings are based on number of skilled engineers worldwide, courses, and third-party vendors also. The popular search engines such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, Wikipedia, Amazon, YouTube, and Baidu are used to calculate the ratings. It is important to note that TIOB index is not about the best programming language or the language in which the most lines of code have written. You will see many popular languages in past like Java, C, are losing their market with the Kotlin and Rust Python. But here you can see, as per popularity, Python is at the number one. The index of Java, it is losing its place. Visual Basic, assembly language, Go, they are losing its place. Newcomers like Rust language is at 20. Let's look at the trend of a few programming language. First of all, let's look at the Java. You could see its popularity is decreasing since 2001. You can see continuously trend is going downwards. We can look at Go. Yeah, where is Go? Yes, here I can see Go was popular in around 2017, 2017, and later on been able to either move into uptrend or downtrend. Let's look at C, which was very popular language in the past. This language in C also you can see the trend is somewhat downward. Okay, and so we can even check now. We'll check Kotlin, and yeah, so Kotlin, they are saying that there is boost has happened. The popularity has gone since 2023. I don't know the reason why, because there was a sudden spike in 2017 when Google adopted Kotlin for Android officially. But after that, it was in a sideways trend, and now it is again moving to uptrend. So this was about Kotlin. Now let's check what let's check about what is the trend in a Rust. So as you can see, the Rust, although it was started in 2011, positive thing is the language is in uptrend. There was a sudden spike in 2020, and after that we saw some drop, and now it's again moving upwards. So this is the one reason we are aiming for Rust programming language. It also supports its assembly framework you can use to develop web applications, etc. So another thing that we are going to check is we'll open GitHub October's. Here also you can see, you can check the popularity and fastest growing languages. So if I scroll down, you could see here it shows that growth in programming languages in 2021-22, there is a 50% growth has happened in Rust. Okay. Now this is about the official data we have gathered from website. Now let's go and see why exactly is Rust becoming popular in recent years, last few years. So first of all is no surprises in production environment. I've seen the trend that developers are preferring statically typed languages who performs null safety check at the compile time rather than runtime. The argument between the programmers who prefer dynamic versus static type systems are likely to go for decades and more, but it's hard to argue about the benefits of static type languages. You only need to look at the rise of languages like TypeScript or features like Python's type hints, as people have become frustrated with the current state of dynamic typing in today's larger code bases. Statically typed languages allow for compiler check constraints on the data and its behavior. So more relief when your code runs in a production. Even with the many statically typed languages allow the concept of null, that is, any value may be what it says or null, introducing a second possible type of every type. So we also called it as an optional type, where you can have two possible values of variable. One is its real value, or it can be a null or zero. This prevents runtime null pointer exceptions or cannot read property of null runtime error. So most of the languages you must have seen this exception, which happens at the production. So instead you get the compile time error. So that is about the Go. The second part is the support for cloud native development. Many languages are adapting to support the cloud native development with the focus on scalability, containerization, and microservices architecture. The concurrency and parallelism is also important factor. Rust actually supports, or rather I would say favors, each variable that you define, it should be immutable so that it can offer strong support for concurrency and parallel programming. They are gaining popularity as systems are become more distributed and hardware has become more parallelized. So that is one of the reason why Go and Rust have become more popular. The last important point is machine learning and AI integration. Python remains dominant in machine learning, but other languages, including JavaScript and Rust, are also making strides in this space. So this is the reason why we should not ignore the Rust programming languages or any modern programming language. So with that keeping in mind, let's start now installing Rust. So let's open this link. Okay, so this is Rust official documentation where you will find how to install Rust on your machine. Here are general steps to install Rust on various platforms. So if you are using Linux or Mac OS, then on terminal you can use curl command and then pass this command. So I'm going to share this link in my description box of these videos, which you can refer. On Mac OS, you can use xcode select command install, and then it will be installed. And on Windows, they have installer. You need to follow this link. This link is same as they have mentioned here. Let me open this link, and here you will see it's an installer. I recommend using 64-bit installer. Open the browser, download this exe and run. Click on install button, and then follow the on-screen instruction to complete the installation. And during the installation process, you will be prompted to customize the installation by choosing options such as default toolchain and whether to modify the system path variable. The default setting should be suitable for most of users. Once the installation is complete, you may need to restart your terminal or command prompt to use the newly installed Rust compiler and tools. So if you want to update your Rust, so if you have installed and if you want to update, then you need to use Rust update command, which will update your existing Rust SDK. Now, next is we need to verify Rust installation. Since on my machine, I have already installed, so I have command prompt running here. And on my command prompt, I am going to run first command, that is rust c ---- version. So it should give you the rust c. Rust c is Rust compiler. Its version, it should get displayed. Then the next thing we need is cargo. So for cargo also, we are going to do the same. Then last thing, so cargo, so what cargo is, it's a build system and package manager for the cargo. So if you are coming from Java background, then you would know there are build systems like Gradle or Maven, something like that. And last is Rust up command that I mentioned. It's a command line tool for managing Rust versions and associated tools. So that is also we are going to check with this command. So yeah, this way you can confirm that your installation has completed successfully. Now the next part is, yeah, so if you are going to use any editor, so in my case, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, and in some cases, I might use IntelliJ. So if you want to use Visual Studio plugin, then this is the link. So Run Analyzer is the plugin that I'm using for Rust programming, and you can install this plugin. I'm going to share this link in description box as well. This plugin you can use in your Visual Studio Code, and then we are ready to start with our next step. So similarly, even in IntelliJ, you will see this plugin for IntelliJ's IntelliJ editor. Yeah, so they have in fact Rust over new Jetbrains IDE for Rust developer. So you can download and install. So I have not installed it as of now. I have Visual Studio, so I'm going with that as of now. If required in future, I will be installing this Rust over IDE. So this is about the first video of learning Rust programming. In next video, we'll be starting with some hello world and data type kind of basic fundamental things that we'll learn about Rust programming. So thanks for watching my video. Please share, like, subscribe if you're liking the content. Thank you.